Hey, welcome back again, everybody. This is Matt again today with the Christian Journey series. Um, I want to go over where I left off from the dream in the castle. Um, I kind of mentioned in past videos, I don't remember how many videos ago it's been now, that all of my dreams seem to be connected in one way or another. From being pulled out of the river to fighting in a stronghold against um, insurmountable odds that I needed to overcome on my own with God and Jesus, to the conclusion of kind of where that dream leaves off. Um, this was a more recent thing about a month ago that this dream kind of got to this point. Um, so, like, as I'm headed out to this field of demons to fight, is kind of where I left off. And I look over and see Jesus, and he tells me that I'm not going to be fighting alone. So, to pick up where that leaves off, um, I finally am in the battlefield, and the fight's finally over with the demons. I've beaten all of them with Jesus' help, but now I'm worn out. I'm tired, and I'm getting ready to turn around. And just as I get ready to relax, and I start heading back towards the castle, there's this terrible shriek and roar across the sky, coming from way up above. So I had this vision too, right before this, about a gold shield, gold and white shield. Um, as I turn back around, and now there's a huge dragon flying at me. Then a shield that looks incredibly heavy, and it's as tall as myself, appears in front of me. I hear a voice say, "Take up the shield." I grab the shield, and then once the dragon is close enough, it spits out huge flames. I can feel the heat coming from the dragon's breath pouring down upon me. My legs are incredibly heavy at this point and about ready to give way. But I hold fast, tired and feeling alone. I hear a voice say, "Hold tight to your faith a little longer. Soon there will be three." Then two more shields appear in the sky amongst the dragon's onslaught. I also see in the distance a spear forming, and it's wrapped in electricity, being formed above a large group of people near the castle. My belief with this is that that spear is the voice of the collective, um, because God's voice is like thunder, and if we can have the authority to have God's voice and use it, then it would make sense that the collective would be forming that spear with their voice. Um, Now, as for the shield, I'm using its form. It's made from iron, sharpened. Um, and the reason why the shield's as big as it is because I kind of took a step out of the bounds of safety for those that I love, and I took a giant risk, but I took that risk in an act of faith. Um, the thing is when you're going up against something like a dragon, you're going up against incredible odds. In fact, those odds are so big that most people wouldn't be willing to step out on it. Most people are afraid. And realizing now more than ever that the reason why my friends in the previous stream couldn't come with me and why I needed to fight it alone was that God needed to quell the doubt that I had in myself. Because a lot of times I'm filled with doubt. I'm wondering if I'm doing the right thing. I wonder if I'm actually helping more than maybe just hindering. And I would say a good part of my life has built me for this moment. Whenever this moment comes, because apparently I'm going to be slaying some kind of dragon, or at least fending it off. The thing is that a lot of times doubt has seeped in my own life. Even when I felt like I was doing the right thing, I was getting my ass kicked, for a lack of better terms. So, kind of want to go over some quotes here too from the Bible, verses from the Bible. From Ephesians 6:16, take up the shield of faith with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. The flaming arrows are the dragon's breath and onslaught. Also, the reason I was told I didn't need the sword was so God could use the shield, because that was my faith. And the reason why the shield is as big as it is because my faith has to be greater than anything else. And I think the reason for this is that, kind of like I said in my very first video, we're in dark times. And going to my list of characters, there's a lot of characters on this list that struggle with dark times, and a lot of them are men picked in their own continuity for moments when the world's light was fading. And sometimes, and I'm not trying to sound prideful here, God picks somebody who won't bend a knee. I think part of my own experience is that maybe I'm just so tired of watching good men take a knee to the ones that aren't good. I don't really like getting into my political views and stuff, but I will say this. In light of like the Epstein stuff that's going on and everything else, I think it's really interesting when you look at political views, and I don't care if you're right wing or left wing. There are people that are on both sides of the aisle that are on that list. And will we ever see the full list? Who knows? I know this though. That corruption's not just in Hollywood. It's not just across the seas. It's a universal thing. And I think the biggest problem we've had, and I will say this, and I say this boldly, and I know there's going to be consequences, but I think truth needs to be the underlying factor here. So, I live in Reno, Nevada, and through discovering some things, through various things that have happened and gone on around me, and I think it's kind of cute that people don't want to admit this and don't want to realize this. And the point I'm getting at with this is that I want to make it clear that we, the people, have a choice to fight back. And I'm not talking about some violent protests and stuff like that. Sometimes being a voice of reason in the darkness can be your greatest weapon. Something I've been often afraid to use is my own voice. And I want to highlight something today that I don't know why it would shock people. I think honestly, we've all probably known it's true for a long time and wanted to do nothing about it. There is corruption even with here in Reno, and I guarantee you it's on all levels. It's from the highest level to the lowest level. Our law systems. There's a lot of organized crime, and it's leaked into every aspect of our government. And if anyone ever wanted to believe in something that I was saying was true, I would ask wholeheartedly that you believe this. If we choose not to fight, we're choosing to concede to evil. And I'm going to be teaching myself some things here soon, and I'm looking for good mentorship on this part of my own, which is I have decided that I want to better this world and be the voice, despite how much I do not like being out in the open and exposed to everything. Quite honestly, I'd be much more comfortable sitting at home, but God doesn't call us to be comfortable. He calls us to move beyond comfort. And not to sound, again, like I said, arrogant or prideful, I've decided that I kind of want to enter the fray. And I don't know how I'm going to get there, how I'm going to do it. I'm sure things will come up and the right people will align with this. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that understand what I'm getting at. I know friends have recently rallied behind this, and that's... I don't think good men should sit silent anymore. I'm kind of tired of the villains winning. And I know maybe that's not right in some people's eyes, especially with the Christian view, because everyone can be redeemed and saved. But for the time being, people who serve the enemy are people who serve the enemy. It's cut and dry. And I won't let the wicked win. I just hope that it's not just me, and that there's going to be other people that stand by or stand next to me when this happens, because I don't want my voice to go off into the darkness. I want it to echo and be heard. And I think now is the time for good men to come out from the shadows. Say truth. Speak truth. If Jesus was the light and the way, and we really seek to be like Jesus, then now is the time to flip tables. And the enemy's tables are vast. I won't even kid myself, we're outnumbered. And outnumbered heavily. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. Anyways, I kind of hope that people take something away from this, if anything, that now is the time to push back. I've been kind of scared of doing it my entire life, and I think that maybe that's for a good reason. It's because at the moment I wasn't ready. I'll be honest, I'm not even sure I'm ready now, but I'm just tired of sitting idly. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Next video kind of goes along with what I'm getting at here, and I kind of hope it highlights something that I think is going to be a very positive thing to come out of all of this. Anyways, in the next video.